Choosing cat food seems simple. You walk into a store, see a shelf full of options, pick something that looks healthy, and you're done. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of the most common cat food mistakes are made by loving, responsible owners who genuinely believe they're doing the right thing. And the tricky part? Most of these mistakes don't show immediate consequences. They build slowly over time. In this video, we're breaking down 9 common cat food mistakes. And the last one is the one most people overlook completely. Let's start with the one that sounds logical, but isn't. 1. Assuming expensive means better. It's easy to think. If it costs more, it must be higher quality. And sometimes that's true, but not always. Price can reflect marketing, packaging, import costs, or brand positioning, not necessarily ingredient quality. What actually matters is the ingredient list. Cats are obligate carnivores. That means their bodies are designed to rely on animal-based protein. If the first few ingredients are corn, wheat, soy, or vague terms like animal derivatives, that's worth questioning, no matter the price tag. Here's a quick test. Look at the first 3 ingredients. Are they clearly named animal proteins or fillers? Because price doesn't feed your cat. Ingredients do. And that brings us to a mistake even more common than trusting the price. 2. Feeding only dry food without questioning it. Dry food is convenient. It's affordable. It's easy to store. It doesn't spoil quickly, but it's also very low in moisture. Cats evolved from desert-dwelling ancestors and naturally have a low thirst drive. That means many cats don't drink enough water to compensate for a fully dry diet. Hydration plays a huge role in urinary tract health and kidney function. This doesn't mean dry food is automatically bad. It means moisture intake matters. Some owners find balance through a mixed diet, combining dry and wet food. Others focus on encouraging water consumption with fountains or multiple bowls. The key is awareness, because hydration isn't something you notice immediately until there's a problem. And speaking of sudden problems, here's one mistake that causes immediate digestive upset. 3. Switching foods. You find a better formula, or your store runs out of the usual brand, so you switch immediately. But a cat's digestive system is sensitive. Sudden food changes can lead to vomiting, diarrhea, or appetite changes. The ideal transition takes about 7 to 10 days. Start with mostly old food and a small portion of the new. Gradually increase the new food while decreasing the old. It sounds simple, but rushed transitions are one of the most common avoidable mistakes. And now we reach the mistake that ties everything together. 4. Not reading the ingredient list. Most people read the front of the bag. High protein, premium formula, but very few flip it over and actually study the ingredients. And here's something important. Ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. That means whatever comes first makes up the largest portion of the food. If you see whole meat listed first, that's good. If you see multiple grains listed separately near the top, that could be a way to split fillers and push them lower on the list visually. It looks minor, but over time, ingredient quality affects digestion, coat health, muscle maintenance, and energy levels. Ask yourself this: if you wouldn't eat something without knowing what's in it, why would your cat? But even when people read the label, there's another misunderstanding that sneaks in. 5. Focusing only on protein percentage. You'll often see labels boasting 38% protein, and that sounds impressive, but here's the key question. Protein from what source? Plant-based protein can raise the total percentage on the label, but it doesn't offer the same biological value to cats as animal protein. Cats require specific amino acids like taurine that are naturally found in animal tissues. So instead of asking, how high is the protein, ask, where is the protein coming from? Because 35% protein from quality animal sources is not the same as 35% protein bulked up with plant material. And this ties into one of the most misunderstood trends in cat food. 6. Assuming grain-free automatically means healthy. Grain-free has become a buzzword, and many owners equate grain-free with premium, clean, or biologically appropriate. But grain-free doesn't automatically mean low-carb or high quality. Some grain-free foods simply replace grains with other carbohydrate sources like peas or potatoes, so the carbohydrate load may still be high. Cats don't have a strong biological need for carbohydrates. They can process some, but their metabolism is designed around protein and fat. The word grain-free sounds reassuring, but what matters more is the overall nutrient balance. Now, let's talk about something that creates silent problems over time. 7. Getting portion control wrong. You can choose the right brand. You can read every ingredient. You can even pick the perfect life stage formula and still get this wrong. Most owners either follow the feeding chart on the package exactly, or they estimate by eye. Both can be misleading. Feeding guidelines are averages. They don't account for your specific cat's metabolism, activity level, indoor lifestyle, or whether they've been neutered. An indoor, low-activity cat may require significantly fewer calories than the chart suggests. And here's the subtle part: dry food is calorie-dense. That means even a small daily overfeed, something that doesn't look dramatic in the bowl, can slowly lead to weight gain over months. Not overnight, not in a week, gradually. And gradual weight gain is the hardest to notice. Instead of relying only on the back of the bag, using a kitchen scale instead of a cup, monitoring your cat's weight monthly, watching their body shape, not just the bowl. Can you feel their ribs lightly under a thin layer of fat? Is there a visible waist when viewed from above? Because choosing good food matters, but feeding the wrong amount of good food still creates problems. And there's one more mistake people rarely think about. 8. Not choosing food based on your cat's specific life stage and condition. This is the one many people overlook. Not all cats have the same nutritional needs. A growing kitten, an active adult, a senior cat, a neutered indoor cat. They all have different metabolic demands. For example, neutered cats often require fewer calories. Seniors may need adjusted protein and phosphorus levels. Kittens require more energy and specific nutrients for development. Feeding a one-size-fits-all formula long-term can quietly create imbalance. And here's the bigger idea. There is no universally best cat food. There is only what's appropriate for your specific cat. Age, activity level, health history, body condition. Those factors matter more than trends. 9. Storing cat food incorrectly. You might be doing everything right until the food leaves the store. Once dry food is opened, it begins to change. Exposure to air causes fats to oxidize. Over time, that affects freshness, smell, and nutritional stability. If you pour dry food into an open container without sealing the original bag, or store it in a warm, humid environment, you may unintentionally reduce its quality. Light, heat, and moisture all speed up degradation. The safest method: keep the food in its original bag, seal it tightly, and place the entire bag inside an airtight container. This preserves both freshness and the integrity of the ingredient balance. Wet food has its own risks. Once opened, it should be refrigerated and ideally used within 24 to 48 hours. Leaving opened wet food exposed at room temperature too long increases the risk of bacterial growth. And here's the key insight: sometimes the issue isn't the brand. It isn't the ingredient list. It's how the food is handled at home. You can buy excellent food and unintentionally reduce its value through storage mistakes. Which brings us to the bigger picture. Choosing cat food isn't about chasing trends or trusting packaging claims. It's about understanding what your cat actually needs and how your daily habits affect that. Price doesn't guarantee quality, labels don't always tell the full story, protein percentage isn't everything. And even the right food can become a problem if portions are wrong or storage is careless. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Small, informed decisions. Reading ingredient lists, adjusting portions, paying attention to body condition, storing food properly can quietly shape your cat's long-term health. Your cat won't analyze labels. They won't measure calories. They rely entirely on you to make those decisions. If this helped you think differently about what goes in their bowl, consider liking the video and subscribing for more practical, science-based cat care guidance. Because when you understand the details, you stop guessing and start choosing with confidence.